So what do you say we spend a little time in the garden today? All right. Got my wife Brooklyn here with me, and you probably recognize this little guy from our carrot fermenting video. And it's a little bit of a depressed state around here, especially with Brooklyn. She's kind of in, she's in a sad state. Here we are, February 12th, 2 days before Valentine's Day, and the ground is really wet, and we're supposed to get more rain this weekend, and it doesn't look like we're going to be able to plant potatoes on Valentine's Day.
What?
She is really sad about it.
Y'all, I'm devastated. Like, I've been looking forward to this.
This girl right here, y'all, she don't care about chocolates. She don't care about flowers. All she wants to do on Valentine's Day is plant taters.
That's it.
And so, you know, I'm trying to come up with some last minute ideas.
I got a few.
Trying to come up with some stuff. So we'll see what I'm able to come up with. But we're just going to have to push her tater planting date off maybe a week, maybe even 2. So, honey, I'm really sorry.
It's okay.
But I'm about
going to try to get through it.
For the rest of this video, I'm about to tell them about some things we can do to maybe get our tater planting date a little closer. Okay. Not on Valentine's Day, but maybe a little closer. How's that sound? So
next year we can repeat.
Next year we can try, but this year we got to try to do some things so we can actually even get them in the ground.
Okay.
Got it?
Got it.
All right. Good deal. Thank you for your patience.
Come on, Tater.
So this here is what is going to be our tater plot at some point in time. Don't know when we're going to get them planted, but we're going to try to do a few things that may help us get them planted maybe by the end of February. Definitely not going to get them planted middle of February like we said. You can see here just kind of mud right now, really wet, and supposed to get, I think, starting tonight. So Saturday and Sunday supposed to rain pretty much all day. So we're gonna get a lot more rain on these guys. And then after that, I think next weekend it's supposed to get down to 32. So I will be kind of glad I don't have them in the ground right then. They can handle freezing temps as long as they're underneath the soil. The spuds haven't, you know, sprouted out from the soil yet. They can handle some freezing temps there. But if you get vegetation growing and then get freezing temps, you got to come out here and cover up all the vegetation, which can, you know, be a little bit aggravating. So we got mud right now. We need this to dry out a little bit. We know we've got at least a week of, you know, prospectively cool temperatures left, so we don't want to plant till after that. So if I can just get this to dry out within the next week or 2, we may be able to plant some taters. Now, thankfully, we did get a good bit of sunshine today. You can see it's pretty cloudy right now because the storms are about to roll in the next few hours. Did get a good bit of sunshine today, thankfully, so it's not as wet as it could have been had it been dreary all day. But it doesn't look like we're going to get a whole lot much more sunshine, which would be the obvious way to get it to dry out. You know, pray for some sunshine, get some nice heat on that plot, help it dry out a little bit. You can even come in there and cultivate it, and that will help it dry out. But certainly not adding any more rain, you know, that's not going to help it dry out. So at this point, without having much sunshine in the next few weeks, we just need to stop it from getting any more moisture. So to keep from getting any more moisture on my prospective tater plot, I'm going to use my trusted silage tarps, which I have here behind me. I've got 2 of them, one right behind me and one back there a little bit. And they're currently on plots where we had cover crops that we mowed. We did one light tillage, and then we put the tarp on there to kind of help extinguish the rest of that cover crop. Tarps also work good for reducing your weed seed bank, which we talked about in a previous video. Lots of good uses for tarps. In this case, we're just using it to cover the ground and to minimize the additional amount of moisture that we would be getting from all this rain coming in the next week. So if we pull up the tarp that's on this clover here and take a look, we can see here that all this vegetation here has died, decomposed, everything, to the point where we don't really have to worry about this clover growing back. It's been nicely killed by the tarp there. And I got some good organic material here we'll probably incorporate into the soil, you know, soon or right before we get ready to plant our seedless watermelons here, which is what's going to be going in this plot here. But the tarp has done its job extinguishing this cover crop, Also probably helping with my weed seed bank. Shouldn't have to worry about a whole lot of growth on here for right now. And because we only have 2 tarps, I'd rather put it on that tater tarp to keep from getting any moisture there, because I'm needing to plant there sooner than I'm needing to plant here. So if this gets a little extra moisture, I'm still several weeks out on this plot, whereas the tater plot I need to get in really, really soon. All right. I got that done just in the nick of time. We ain't got a whole lot of daylight left out here. I can feel the wind starting to pick up, and then we're gonna have 2 or 3 days straight of rain. So very happy to get that on the soil. Now it's not gonna completely prevent any additional moisture during all this rain we're gonna have, but it will significantly reduce the amount of moisture that it would otherwise get if it wasn't covered. You might get a little bit of seepage on the sides there, but from my experiences, in about a week, once we're done with all this rain and I take this tarp off there, I should be able to just cultivate it one time, maybe mix in some compost, see if I can get my hands on some chicken manure, mix in a little bit of that, cultivate it one time, and we'll be ready to plant taters. Because this dirt here, this soil was already ready pretty much. We had cultivated a time or two after we had that mustard cover crop there, so it was already ready. Maybe one more light cultivation and we'll be ready to plant taters. And that's the nice thing about the tarp, we can just pull it off, nice pristine plot ready to go. Hopefully a drier plot ready to go as well. So I'm absolutely determined to not make the same mistake that I made last year. Last year I got in a hurry, wanted to get my potatoes in the ground. I planted about 500 row feet of potatoes. It then came a pretty good rainstorm and I lost all but about 20 of that 500 feet, and that is pretty saddening. Not to mention, you know, just the amount of seed potatoes we lost, but the time and energy investment I had in planting that many potatoes. So we're going to be a little more patient this year, not get in a hurry. We're going to do it when the time is right, when the forecast just doesn't look like flooding for the next week, and maybe things warm up a little bit. You know, it's just going to be a cooler than normal late winter, early spring. We can adjust, we'll be just fine. So for those of you out there that have already planted potatoes, I've got my fingers crossed for you, hoping you don't get too much rain or too much cold and they make it through all this. If you haven't planted your taters yet, I know you're anxiously awaiting like I am. Maybe some of you are waiting for the next week or two. Maybe some of you still have a few months out. But kind of give me an idea when your intended tater planting date is, or when you ideally would like to have them in the ground. I'll put a link below to our silage tarps so you can grab one of those and protect your plots from getting too much rain if you need to. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and ring that bell so you get notified every time we come out with a new video. If you enjoyed this one, I think you'll really enjoy these two right here as well, so make sure you check those out. We will see you next time.